His dream. I'm going to try out for the first time a live, not at a card show, because I'm taking my walk today, like I do every day, or almost every day. I go ahead and take a about a 5 mile walk, and that's where I see some nature and I see a little bit of some birds and things that I do in my shorts a lot of times. So I take a walk here, and while I'm walking, I figured I don't know if anybody's going to join me on this live stream, and I don't know how to see the comments or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and talk. So I want to just talk a little bit about the hobby and just what's happened. With all the stuff with the shill bidding and all that, it's just kind of crazy. I just remember in the old days, it was just so easy to just buy and sell, and really, I mean, there probably were people back in the '80s that did cheat and stuff, but I don't remember any of that. And I would go to all the card shows and really just talk to all the people, mainly the mall shows. And it was just almost like a gathering, a family gathering. It was a little bit different than it is today. And, when we started with eBay, I mean, I started back in, I think it was 98, 99. And it was one of those things that you had to send checks and you had to get the checks, wait for it to clear, and then you finally got your cards. And it was just different times because you kind of got to know the people, and they would even some of them would give you the phone number and stuff to make sure the items got there. So we did a lot of business with people that did business with us. So it was kind of a fun time back then. The only thing different, and I'm walking, I maybe get out of breath because it's a 5 mile walk, and I'm a senior. But and God, my doctor said that I was the healthiest senior that she had, and that's a good thing. So I continue to do my exercise. I got the sun hitting me there, so we just do some walking around here, and so some of the people around here really nice. Been living in this neighborhood. I don't know, redo my collection, reset it all because it was all in binders. So I had to kind of, put it all in boxes, and I went ahead and did that. And today I'm still kind of organizing those boxes. But going back to the good old days before the internet, well, beginning of the internet, uh, it was a time where I collected basically by myself, and you really didn't get a chance to see other people's collections unless it was, at the card shows, things like that. So it was one of those things that nobody knew what cards you had in those days. Good morning. So it was kind of different because back then, there were no influencers. So you really didn't have people, you know, telling you what to collect and what you should like and what kind of things are going to be profitable and things like that. Those are the good old days where you collected what you liked. And you really didn't really care what other people collected, even though you kind of, enjoyed other people's collections. But for the most part, it wasn't like today where people are like, oh, look what I got, look what I got. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going out to buy it. You know, look at that Justin Herbert rookie patch auto. Let's go get it. Crazy, crazy times. today, what we're living in today. And that's the big difference between back in the old days where you basically just enjoyed the hobby a little bit more and really weren't influenced. I mean, there were, and I've shown books and things that have, pricing and what to invest. I mean, Mr. Hager back in those days, along with Mr. Mint, those big dealers, they talked about investments all the time. But it was a time and a different thing because most of the people collectors, they really weren't. I mean, there were the Marshall Fogels who did buy the Gem Mint 10 mantle and stuff like that. I mean, over $100,000. But back in the 80s, come on, people didn't have that kind of money to put in cards. He was already rich to begin with. Those days, we just collected. And we looked for cards that we really liked, cards that we enjoyed. Not really if looked at the price that much. Go ahead and get in the shade and show you a little bit of scenery here. So it was just one of those fun times. And, everybody goes, oh, reminiscing. We're past those days. But, you kind of wish that some of these bad guys in the hobby would kind of just leave already. You know what I mean? You know, we don't need you guys here. We don't need the guys that are going to be showbilly. We don't need the guys that are going to be doing those repack, crack stuff. We don't need those guys here. We need the collectors. And they're stepping it up. And Jeannie calls everybody out. I appreciate that so much. I don't do that in my channel. I kind of like to stay out of the fray, out of the drama. So I may be sharing some opinions now, but my channel, it's all about street cards and enjoying the hobby because really it's a hobby. The definition of a hobby is it's not work, it's not for profit, it's something you should enjoy. Enjoy it's fun. And when it stops being fun, then you gotta kind of stop collecting or collect only what you want. And that's kind of my theory. I mean, I try not to get influenced by anything. I mean, everybody does every once in a while. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, I like autograph cards, vintage cards, and autograph rookie cards. Those are nice. But it's not really for me, you know? And I could fall down that rabbit hole and start collecting, autograph cards, vintage cards, some of my stuff. But you know what? I have a few and I'll collect a few. I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just saying it's just not a rabbit hole I'm going to go into, because once you start doing that, you change your collection, change the direction of your collection. And for me, I like to stay focused on what I really like and what I enjoy collecting. And hey, if it goes up in price, that's great. Appreciate it. And if it doesn't, hey, I enjoy it. And I've enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed it for a long time. And that's really what it's all about for me. Just fun. And, the best thing, of course, is just the friends that you make in this hobby. I mean, it's just so awesome. Years of collecting by myself my entire life, other than my family and a couple of friends who knew that I collected cards. But for the most part, it's just me, myself, and I. And I'd take the kids to the mall, and they enjoyed it there for the card shows. But really, it was just me having something that I kind of kept secret, private. Few people even know what I had. A couple people at work, my good friends, but really nobody ever saw my collection or saw what I was into. And I really didn't care because it was really for me. It wasn't for anybody else. I did it for myself. It was something I just enjoyed. And now it's just so awesome to share this, to share my collection that I put together, God, since I was, a young kid, and continued in a pretty good path because I really didn't have a lot of influencers giving me the direction or telling me what to do. And I think that really helped me stay focused. And I'm still focused. Yeah, you stray every once in a while. You like something, you pick it up here and there. But for the most part, you got to enjoy your hobby because it's for you, it's for nobody else. It's your cards, your collection, your stuff. You're the one's going to have to look at it every day. So, that's what I'm going through now with my collection. And I've done this before. You know, um, I sold a lot of stuff that, yeah, kind of, do I regret it? Maybe, maybe not. Really not, because I got better stuff, you know, like my Jackie Robinsons. I sold all my Jackie Robinsons. I sold most of my Hank Aaron's and cards like that. Um, because, it was just an opportunity to get something else, and some of that stuff I had for a while and figured it was a time to sell. So I did that. And now I'm kind of going through the rest of my stuff and checking out, see what I'm going to do. Put it together, put it in order. What I don't really, really love, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to gather up some stuff to take to the National, take to Strongsville, just to see what kind of trades I can do with fellow collectors or just with some dealers over there. So I'm just going to really reconsolidate, I guess is what you want to call it again, my collection one more time. Last time was probably maybe 5, 10 years ago. And I'm going to start that process. I started that process. I started doing those videos and hanging out with my cards because that's kind of what I'm doing. Every day I'm taking some time, go through my stuff, and just kind of see exactly what I'm going to keep. And, it's just one of those things with the YouTube is just, we talk about the negative stuff, but it does expose a lot of negative stuff. Of course, it's going to happen, but it exposes even more of the wonderful things that are on YouTube. The awesome people, incredible collections, friendships. I mean, that overcomes everything negative in this hobby. And there's so many people that have so many things to share and so many collections and stuff that I'm hoping that a lot of these guys will start sharing their collections. People like Jason Janega, Jason's got to get his collection out there. Mike Petty, aka Mike Petty, I know his real name, but Mike Petty also, incredible collection. They need to put it out there. There's been some great collections that have been put out there. Rocket Rick, he's finally went on, and he's like me, older guy, not much. They're painting the lines on the street here. So, Rocket Rick has an awesome collection, collecting like me for 50 years or more. And, he finally started showing his collection, and it's so impressive. And I'm so glad that he did. And, we've become good friends. And that's really the main thing about it. And Rick and I are going to go ahead and spend some time together at Strongsville. And that should be a blast. And, you got people like Chris from Missouri. Like, come on, whoever thought Chris from Missouri would be doing videos and become a YouTube star. I mean, he's a star. Yes, you are, Chris. You're a YouTube star. Everybody knows Chris from Missouri. Everybody loves Chris from Missouri. And you know what? I met Chris from Missouri. He's just a regular guy like me and you guys. He's not a star. He is a superstar, but he's just another great collector, just like you and I and everybody else out there. So, really, I just want to encourage some people that have thought about putting together a YouTube channel. I really never had taken the time to do it. And hey, I'm in that boat. I was in the same boat. I did that. My daughter helped me finally. Let me go ahead and turn around here. Head back the other round. So, my daughter helped me put together my video, my channel, helped me get going. And after that, I just press play. And as you know, my videos, I don't, I don't even know how to edit, to be honest with you guys. I just go ahead and shoot. And I'm hoping many of you guys do the same thing because it's all about the friendships and it enhances your hobby. You're not collecting alone anymore. You've got other people that are with you, that are helping you. I found cards that, I would have never have found if it wasn't for other friends, and I wouldn't have made friends if it wasn't for some of the cards, that I shared. I mean, I had probably less than 200 subscribers before the national, not this one, the last year's national. So I started my channel and I put some cards on there, and then Ryan Norman saw it, reached out to me, and I'm like, hey, this guy's in Florida, and super nice. I always watch his videos. I'm like, hey, this is a big YouTuber, man. This guy will never even talk to me. And no, Ryan, the nicest guy ever. Excuse me. That's the John pass there. So, I mean, and then Ryan said, hey, I like some cards you got there. Let's do a trade. I said, awesome. Met up with him. The best time in the national. My first real friend there from the hobby, from YouTube hobby, really. And it was just awesome experience. And it was just fun, fun, fun. I got to meet so many people like Vince, New York Yanks 7, and 20 guys. And anyway, all these guys helped me along. So, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, no, not if, when you decide to start your YouTube channel, I promise I'll give you a shout out. And so will all my friends. I'll make sure of that. And we'll help you get started. Just go ahead and hit play. Go for it. Find some cards. A lot of people say, oh, I'm burnt out. My YouTube, I'm burnt out. Well, I love the guys on YouTube that have the series. I mean, I really, really love that. Like Iconic Al with his countdown. Also, Darren, Return to Collecting. He's got a countdown going. I mean, I love all of those videos. They have themes. You know, Alex, Woman 53, James, Elite Hunters. All those guys do awesome, awesome videos with great editing, great subjects. Just a good theme video. But you don't need to do that. It's great that you do, and I love those videos. They're awesome. But guys, if you don't know how to do that, just do your own thing. Just get some cards, start showing them. Maybe grab a group of cards and say, hey, what do I got here? A bunch of Barry Bonds cards, all right. Show some Barry Bonds cards. Give Nate Tops 85401 a shout out. Show the cards. I mean, it's all about the cards. It's all about your collection. We just want to get to know you here on YouTube. We build a great community, a great family, and it's just an awesome opportunity to really get to know everybody in this community. A lot of people in the community chat, and you see them chatting and everything, but you don't know who they are. Good morning. And there's incredible people out there. I mean, there are some guys out here that what they do, not just the YouTube community, not just for the YouTube community, for the world in general. I mean, you have police officers, you have firemen, you have teachers, you have social workers, you have all kinds of business owners, you have just regular guys that work, at Home Depot. Well, I mean, you have so many different people from so many different environments and from so many different places that it's you talk about diversity. This hobby is diversity when you look at all the people that are in this hobby. But the bottom line is the togetherness, because that's really the main thing. When we are talking hobby, when we're in the hobby, we're all the same. You know, you got a 56 Clemente, I got a 56 Clemente. Let's check them out. Talking about your hobby, how you started your hobby. I mean, you know, I love videos of like, Hammer 44. Hammer is just one of the most incredible people in the hobby. And back on live, guys. I can't see the chat, but I'm hoping I am. Let me see if I can figure out how to do chat here. Yeah, I'm not real sure. Somebody, I guess, eventually will tell me, maybe in the comments later on, tell me how to take a look at the chat as I'm on a live stream on my iPhone. Because remember, I'm a rookie at this. But it's 23 minutes, and I got a ways to go. I don't know how long I'm gonna do this live stream, but anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. And it's the friends in the hobby, the people in the hobby. You know, best thing about the hobby is you don't have to have a lot of money. You really don't. You look at some collections like John 3D80s kid. I mean, he's built up an incredible collection, tremendous vintage stuff, and you know, he's your average guy. He doesn't have a lot of money. I'm your average guy. You know, I grew up just basically poor. We came to this country. We came with nothing, just the clothes we were wearing. They took away everything from us. And I grew up in North Miami, the best area, but it was the best. I had the best childhood because I had great friends. And no matter how much money you have, the friends is and the family. You got great family and you got great loyal friends. That's all you need in life, really, to be honest with you. But it's nice having a good card collection. And it's something that really is what, to me, my happy place. That's where you can really just relax and just forget about all the problems of the world and just kind of, you know, go to the past. And, when I look at my cards, especially some of the 1800s and stuff, I mean, I kind of put myself back in those days, You think about these guys traveling with the horse and buggy, you know, these guys that had to, you know, literally some of them when they started had no gloves when they caught the ball. I mean, put yourself back in the day. All these guys, everybody that went to all the fans went to the games all dressed up with the top hat, with the big suit. It was fancy. It was like going to the game back in those days, the 1800s and early 1900s. It was like going to church. It was like a religion, you know. It was America's game. It was everything. I mean, that was the big thrill, you know. Back in the year, when baseball first started, remember, they didn't even have music back in the mid 1800s and 1870s, 1880s. Number one pop hit was Kelly Slide. It was written for Martin Kelly. He was the star of the day. And he was also a Broadway star. He was Babe Ruth before Babe Ruth. And you think about those days, thank God, not even music. There's, you know, electricity almost back in those days. Those telephones, and these people communicated by, postcards, and that's why the postcards are so cool. That's why I love some of those, especially the ones that are written, have little notes on it, like my Ty Cobb postcard that has the note on the back that says that Detroit was baseball mad because, as she was telling, the Detroit lady was sending a post to New York saying because of Ty Cobb, Detroit was baseball mad. That was back in 1909, 1908, actually, it was postmarked. So that's the kind of history it takes you back. It kind of gets you away from the problems of the real world. And that's really what it's all about, guys. You know, find a hobby, find something. I mean, look at Adam from Vintage Sanctuary. He used to collect coins and he loved it, and that was his passion. And if that's your passion, go for it. That's your passion. You love it, you enjoy it, you know. But if you love cards, go for what you really love. If you see somebody that's putting out Marvel cards and you're like, man, that's a cool Marvel card, you know, but I don't know if I really want it, but it looks beautiful and everybody's getting it. My advice, don't jump in. Take a step back. Don't jump as soon as you see something, even if it's something that you're going to want. Take your time. Take your time. Think about it. Once you decide that you want that card, or if that's what you want, then start finding the right one. Don't just jump and get that card because hey, I got it. I got to do a video on it. No, no. Take your time. Find the right one. Be like Dylan, Double D. You know, find the one that is nice, whether it's centering, registration, whatever you do enjoy on that card. Find the card that's the right one for you. And everybody's different. But take your time and looking for the card that you want. Because then later, you won't look at it and say, God, I wish I would have gotten one more centered or a little different. And, you know, you just rushed it. This is not a race. And I always say it's not a race. This is just a hobby. And it's better to get the right one than to win the race and then didn't enjoy the scenery, didn't enjoy the time, the race. Because sometimes it's the race, it's the journey. The journey is what it's about, you know. And I hope you guys, I'm just kind of sharing some thoughts, blabbing away as I walk by myself here. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Hey, look, I got likes. Guys, if you like this, please hit the like button. I got 14 likes. Wow. Looks like I got a few people watching. I can't tell who's watching or anything. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm not doing this for the likes. I'm not doing it for the watches. I'm not doing it for anything. I'm just doing So the people that want to hear my opinion, since I don't share my opinions too much on my videos, I figured, going for a walk, I might as well do something. And usually what I do during this walk is I'll hang out, I'll watch the birds, watch the things. I'll see if I find anything to video and I'll do a short, you know. So I did a little one earlier today, but there's nothing going on this pond over here right now at this time. So you got to be careful because beware of reptiles and alligators. Yeah, we're in Florida. In Florida. So you got a little bit of everything here. So anyway, we're gonna keep walking a little bit. Good morning. So anyway, we let's talk a little bit more, about. I guess I'll talk about the future of the hobby. I guess, or the future of my collecting. I don't know the future of the hobby. Nobody knows the future of the hobby. But for me, um, let's see. Good morning. For me, it's just the hobby's just personal. Okay, you have to kind of decide for yourself what the future is going to be for you. And for me, I mean, I'm going to continue focusing on some pre-war stuff that I'm kind of looking for, and kind of going back to my roots, and collecting some cards of Cuban players or Cuban cards, sharing them with my mom. That's a big thrill she gets. Good morning. So she gets that thrill and she enjoys it. And I get a thrill just by looking at those cards and just thinking back, what would have happened to me if we would have stayed in Cuba. We came in 1960, and it was just a shock for everybody. But collecting Cuban cards, it takes me back to the history of Cuba and remembering my dad and my grandfathers both talking about baseball, talking about Cuba, talking about those players back in those days. And I really didn't have too many of those cards. And what I did was I shared some with my dad, and he had Pedro Ramos and Camilo Pascual cards that I gave for him. I gave him so many years ago, and a few others. And when he passed away, I went through there, and he had those cards saved there on his desk. You know, so I know he was looking at him, and so it's good for me and for my mom to go back, talk about Minnie Minoso. She remembers him play. She saw him. She remembers a lot of those old players back in the days. And my dad, my grandfather, especially my grandfather, remembers all those old guys and talks about them all. Used to talk about them all the time. So just kind of going back myself and going and looking at some of those pre-war cards, both Cuban and from the United States, which really that's my country. Came here when I was 4 years old. Don't remember Cuba. I remember Honduras because we were going to come to Miami and they shipped us out to Honduras. The communist government told us, "No way, you're out of here." So we ended up going to Honduras, spent a lot of time there. Finally got here, and I was 4 years old, and it was a tough time.